and welcome to Stubtown, PSU TV's review show. Today, we're talking about Jason Bourne. No, we're not talking about Jason Bourne. We're talking about League of Gods.
Yeah.外道也想天下归心，游戏才刚开始。
东海是他必须去的地方，你也要继续走自己的路。
从今以后，就是天下苍生流泪的日子。
Okay, so League of Gods. To start this off, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Give me a brief plot summary overview
Of League of Gods?
What is League of Gods about?
League of Gods is an epic adventure tale of a group of, what's the word? Stoic
Dudes?
dudes
3 dudes.
Traveling the world in search of the thing that will save them from the coming great evil that will bring darkness over the land for 18,000 years.
You cheated. You so many vague things. So it's a solid way to do it.
This is the spoiler-free section, I believe.
Oh my god, yeah. Just this movie. Oh my god.
It also fits for the whole movie.
Oh my god, yeah. I had a blast.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah,
no lie.
I had a great time. I caught that last episode of that night. Saw
I
saw
saw you in the
Tark
theater,
leaving
yeah.
leaving the theater.
I was bummed. There was 2 other guys in the theater when I saw it, and that was it.
I was by myself.
Oh no!
I got the
That's
perfect
tight.
seat.
Right in the middle.
I could just be that annoying guy that just slurped his soda and yelled at the screen. It was wonderful. I even checked like 2 or 3 times. It was great.
That's awesome.
It was great.
That's such a shame, though. I feel like I hope this gets like a cult following.
Oh my god.
Maybe.
Totally.
It so deserves.
Totally.
It.
And you know what? I see it. I see a whole other like documentary about how it's a cult following in America.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a big movie in China, but it's like a cult following in America,
Is it
and
done
then.
well in China?
Well, I assume.
I mean,
Come on. I know nothing about the movie.
Yeah, when was the last like Chinese film that actually hit like Hollywood theaters?
Crouching Tiger.
Project Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many years ago was that?
Oh my god.
That was actually
it's like 15.
That's
It's actually
forever
a lot
ago.
longer than I.
So this is like
than
a
I
big
would
thing
like.
as far as.
Well,
you
but
know.
no, but like this movie wasn't advertised at all. Like
very
I
true.
stumbled on it because I went to what was coming out this week because it was like, do we want to review Jason Bourne, which I haven't seen any of the Bourne movies, or Bad Moms? And I was like, I don't want to.
League of Gods.
So and then I found this was like Jet Li. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great, and it was.
Oh, yeah,
man,
no,
It was great for like I don't know. Maybe I'm just not used to seeing movies like it. But,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it just felt all over the place and insane and like goofy, and it was like taking itself seriously. But I didn't have any problems with any of that because it was just so.
Did you grow up watching the midnight martial arts theater that was like on basic cable?
No.
Okay, so where I'm from, far away. So they would have this midnight martial arts hour like in the middle of the weekend, like on Saturday nights, and it was just old, imports of classic kung fu movies. You know, like when Jackie Chan looked like he was 25.
The original Drunken Master.
Drunken Master, Tai Chi, and then my favorite, the 5 Deadly Venoms. Oh my
yes.
god. Oh my god. It's so good. It's so good. And you know, with the bad dubbing and everything and the bad voice act, it's just
experience.
lovely fondue of cheesiness. You know, and I just go in there and eat it by hand.
This was quality fondue.
Oh, this was quality fondue. I mean, this
Super
is from like
quality
straight
fondue.
from Switzerland fondue.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
Like I'm eating the fondue with this fork and the bread, and it was great. But yeah, no. So it just reminded me of all of those moments, staying up till midnight watching these really.
If those movies cost
$100 million. Exactly. I don't know how much they spent on this, but when you collaborate with 80 companies to make it happen, it's pretty intense. Yeah. And you should totally watch it through all the way to the credits just to see those pages of
you saw it in 3D. Neither of us saw it in 3D, but
totally worth it in 3D. Okay, like I've said before in the show, I don't think a lot of movies do 3D well, and it's still burgeoning technology and all that kind of stuff. But this movie, they were like, this is going to be all 3D all the time, and it was great. They made heavy use of it. It was awesome. The level of CG is pretty much the highest thing I've seen coming from Asia in a long time.
Oh, okay.
But the CG wasn't amazing.
It's not.
No.
It's very clearly CG.
It's very clearly CG, but the amount of it.
Oh yeah.
And the way they've integrated it with their live action is pretty awesome.
It's fun.
Yeah,
there are certain things that are completely unbelievable. Like there's, we'll show this in the trailer, but like there's a rubbery kung fu CG baby that is.
For a second there I was like, oh, I'm gonna hate this, and
then
I'm
you
like,
just don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's just
like,
it's completely just
that character,
crazy.
Yeah, you see that in the trailer, and you're like, this is just gonna be ridiculous garbage, and then you watch it, and you're like. Okay.
I'm down.
I believe it. I buy it.
I think because that character is so mean-spirited, like it's.
Yeah, I hated that more.
One of the meanest characters I've ever seen on film. Like he ends up helping the good guys in the end, but most of the movie he's just like bullying people and being a dick.
Well, so I didn't get any time to really research this, but from what I understand, these are all like representation of. Like characters in mythology.
Yeah, it says this in the story. This is like one of China's most famous mythological stories.
Exactly.
Come to life in the cinema.
And so to see all of these heroes / gods and all,
the mythic Avengers.
I felt like
just the scope, it's just so epic.
Yeah, I feel like I should have known more about like the mythology going in. I felt like they just like assumed that the audience like knew who these people were because they just kind of like did things and had these characters that made no sense.
Yeah,
like the baby man. He was just so weird.
Baby man's so weird.
He was just so mean. Yeah.
Extra little baby arms.
Well, yeah.
And then,
I think we're getting a little into the
spoilers.
Oh, they show that in the trailer, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Anything in the trailer is free game.
Right.
Spoiler-free section.
Especially to try and talk about this flick. And we were talking about this earlier, like the enthusiasm in the filmmaking here. Like they just like they don't care about like
really
the rules, the rules.
Yeah,
of filmmaking.
exactly.
They're just like,
and it still works.
It's so you can tell they're having so much fun, and they're so into like making this insane movie. It's crazy.
It is really wild.
And those of you who are fans of theater, you will love this.
Well,
it is in its essence like epic, over the top Chinese theater on giant sets. I mean, I was by seeing these huge sets, I was remembering, lots of the film studies classes, about the epics and
the two things, like, because the CGI is like middling to good. It's always like it's never so bad that you're like no more of that. But the costumes and the sets are really where this movie shines. Like the sets are incredibly detailed and huge and awesome, and then the costumes are just as intricate, especially everything. The Nine-Tailed Fox character. Every costume she has is incredible.
The costumes and the makeup were amazing, but some of the extras acting was just it was so silly. But like you have to love it because of its silliness.
I think
it definitely sets a tone that allows for the levels of ridiculous that it gets to. It doesn't feel. That's the weird thing. Is like as cheesy or as strange as some of the moments are in this film, they don't feel out of place. They feel like they're part of this world very organically. It's just this world is goofy and fun, and I appreciated that none of that stuff feels wrong or out of place. It feels earned and appropriate.
Yeah, I take a slightly different look at that. I agree with all of that, of course. But since I have seen lots of Asian cinema, a lot of what they're doing are are very traditional, or there's a basis of tradition there, and that, like I said, a lot of it comes from Chinese theater and all of these things, and the way that things are expressed, lots of body language and movement and stuff like that. So I can see how it could be seen as like really goofy in some sense.
Yeah.
But if you approach it with that kind of background, it becomes more stage play acting.
Exactly.
I mean, even in that context, a lot of the goofiest moments are played for comedy. They're just like they're just played in a more over the top way than like we're used to in Western film.
Right.
That's all I really meant. Like,
It's like what I was saying earlier. Like I'm just not used to watching movies like this.
Right.
And like I understood that going in, and I still was able to enjoy it. But like it definitely was not.
Well, I think that's a mark of what makes it such a great movie.
Exactly.
It's, like,
it's different.
For an audience that has no connection to
Anything going on.
Chinese cinematic history, it's still really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just blown away by how creative some of the things are. Like, just man, the spoilers things.
I know.
Man,
we always really want to go to the spoilers section as quick as possible. But
tough.
I guess as a quick rundown, epic storyline, huge adventure movie. Ensemble cast, like all the characters played a huge role in it. There wasn't just like one person.
Except that one guy. But we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that. No, that was actually a problem I had. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And really fun.
So much fun.
A true spectacle. Visually awesome.
I keep telling people that this is if Flash Gordon, the 1980s Flash Gordon, was made today, cost $300 million, and came from China. This is like that sort of. If any of that sounds appealing, you have to go see this.
It's true. Yes.
That being said, we should move on to the spoiler section. We're gonna have so much fun.
Let's do it.
Breaking this movie down. We're just gonna do, before we go, let's just do quick recommends. Don't recommends. Tark, we'll start with you.
I'd recommend it. I wouldn't recommend seeing it in theaters because I feel like it'd be more of a fun movie to watch like at home in like that midnight movie sort of setting that you were talking about earlier. A bunch of friends. Like being able to comment on it because it's not one of those movies you really have to listen and pay attention for the plot to develop. Not at all. Things just happen and they go for it and it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
But it's hard to like sit in a dark theater and just kind of like watch it and not get a little bored of that. I mean, that's just my opinion, but it was still. I would recommend it. I would give this a would recommend.
Absolutely. Jimmy?
Recommend 100%. Go watch it now. Go get the IMAX 3D version. Watch it in the biggest theater you can. Watch it with as many people as you can. Be as loud as you can. Well, you probably don't want to do that, but I would totally do it. If you can get a theater by yourself and watch it as a midnight show, totally do that too.
Well,
or bring your friends.
Right?
Well, it just happened to work out that way. But no, totally go watch this movie. I have not had that much fun watching a movie in a very long time, and you just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Take it all in.
It's awesome. There's just so many different elements. It's a feast for the eyes. It's just great. I 100% recommend it.
Nice. I'm gonna go with this recommend as well because it really does feel like a very like special movie. It's like it really feels like I want this to be a cult classic. I want to watch this with my friends. I want to take as many people to see this as possible. Like it's so enjoyable. The characters are. Some of them are horrible. Some of them are great. Like it's just they're not afraid to do anything in this movie, and I appreciated that a lot. And just the amount of like fun, the amount of times I was like, "What?"
Seriously.
And it's spectacular visually. It's so much fun. Just don't go in expecting like a self-serious or like something that's very like buttoned down, and go in with like the right attitude. You're gonna have so much fun with this movie. 100% recommend. On that note, we're gonna head over to spoilers. We're gonna have some fun.
All right.
Hopefully we'll see you there.